Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. Welcome, my Astro family, to this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to empower you through the tool of astrology. First off, I want to announce the winner of the January Solar Return Report, Meredith Truala. Congratulations, you've won yourself a Solar Return Report. Thank you for tagging Guiding Star with Kesenya in your Facebook post promoting my channel and my videos. Friends, all you need to do is like, share and subscribe to go into the draw to win for February. So don't forget to do that. It's really good if you can tag me, then I can see that you've shared and therefore you stand a greater chance of winning the prize, which is a Solar Return Report. Who doesn't want to know what's coming up for the year ahead? Congratulations, Meredith. Now, this week's energy focus. Firstly, on the 7th of February, we are having a doozy of an energy that happens very rarely. It is the conjunction of the North Node with this is the North Node and Neptune here at 28 degrees of Pisces. And that's why I'm wearing blue today, because the North Node is represented by the electric blue color, whereas Neptune is represented by sort of oceanic colors. So with that in mind, I am all geared up for this miraculous, beautiful energy. And this is what we're going to be exploring in the All Signs Breakdown shortly. But let me tell you about this combination first. It is a beautiful and rare astrological event. People who are born with this signature of North Node conjunct Neptune, they're here in this incarnation to experience miracles, magic and meaning in their life, purpose. And this combination only happens once every roughly between 16 to 18 years and obviously in a single lifetime. It's never going to happen in the same sign twice. So if you carry this signature in any sign, you are one of life's special people. So it occurs, the conjunction, and we'll talk about what's happened on previous conjunctions in a different sign every 16 to 18 years. So the conjunction of the North Node and Neptune is not rare, but the fact that it is occurring in the sign of Pisces is more rare. It's a once in a lifetime occurrence. Now, for the rest of us who don't have this in our natal charts, who are simply experiencing the transit of this energy, this week it's going to be exact, but it's been in play for a couple of weeks before and will be in play for a couple of weeks after, because these two bodies move very slowly, or Neptune is the body and North Node is a mathematical point. So for the rest of us who are experiencing this slow transit, we may discover exceptional spiritual teachers in our life right now, or we might define a really empowering spiritual practice for ourselves that works. We might find out exactly what makes our spirits soar as well. And this might include things like a divine romance coming into our life, or blossoming creative ideas, or some sort of uplifting utopian vision for your future. This, my friends, and underline this is a time to expect miracles. Miracles can happen with this combination. It's a time to dream big. It's a time to imagine the world that you long for and to manifest your wishes into reality. Very powerful. On that topic, I do have a wish manifestation video that I utilize for my gold and silver star members at the Patreon family. If you want to find out how to work with astral energies to manifest your wishes and your dreams, that's the video you want to catch. It comes out every month and it's pertinent to particular lunations every month. So do check that out by becoming a gold or silver star patron if you want to know how to manifest your wishes into reality. But this energy, very supportive of such things this week. Now, the North Node represents our destiny, my friends, and when it's in conjunction with this spiritual and misty planet Neptune, we know that we're going to be given the opportunity to move out of our past illusions, past deceptions, past addictions. We're going to move beyond martyrdom and self-sacrificing that's harmful to us. We're going to move out of feeling foggy and misty and unclear. We're going to move out of having a lack of focus or a lack of vision. These are the shadow sides of Neptune, and leaving the past with these things in them behind is what this is all about. We just need to be careful, though, that said, of not consciously heading into more of these energies that I've just described, because they're the lower vibration of Neptune. We want to leave them behind. We can, with North Node conjunct Neptune, if we're not aware, not conscious, not working with the energies, we can end up moving more into this energy, because Rahu is hungry for the things of Neptune. And unless you're conscious and operating at a high vibrational level, you could move more hungrily into these lower vibrations of Neptune. So you need to be very aware. You need to be conscious about how you're working with the energies so you don't get more of what I've just described. We want to get less, and we want to leave those things behind so that we can move into the more high vibrational combination of these energies, North Node with Neptune. And what we want to invite into our lives is more of the fantastic energies of Neptune combined with Rahu manifesting. So more compassion, more divine love, more inspiration, more imagination, more creativity, more art, more beauty, more miracles, more healing, more utopian manifestation, more of our biggest dreams coming true. That's what we want to focus our energy on manifesting. We need to be living in unconditional love. We need to be living in compassion. We need to be living, looking for inspiration and drawing it in when we find us. We need to be living creatively, artistically, with beauty and music and dance and all the glorious high-level things that Neptune represents. Not only are you going to get the opportunity to experience more of those things with North Node conjunct Neptune, but you can bring them in and get more from them now. So book that ballet concert, go to that orchestral recital, do things that are Neptunian now, and you're going to get so empowered by doing so under this energy. So you can work with this energy to direct it into the right area and leave that negative stuff that I described behind. Now, Neptune rules Pisces. So although these two meet every sort of 16 to 18 years, this conjunction in Pisces is an incredible time to experience Neptune energy manifesting at his most powerful and most auspicious level. And therefore, we are likely to see the wonderful energies of Pisces manifesting with this conjunction more so than the shadow side. That's why I think we're going to be heading into a more empowered destiny of Neptune rather than the negative. We need to be conscious about that, but this is a strong Neptunian influence for the good, I do feel. And we'll talk about what it means with Neptune in Pisces conjunct Rahu very soon. But with good aspects forming to this little old conjunction down here, and that includes a sextile. I hope I can draw all this in. I might move Venus out of the way so that it works better. Okay, with a sextile to Uranus, and we've also got, believe it or not, through all this mess, a sextile to Pluto forming as well. And this is, of course, making a beautiful minor grand trine that is very powerful in protecting and guarding humanity right now. I love this. It's bringing us into the higher level aligned with the Yuga cycle. You're going to want to check out a video I've got coming out next week about the Yuga cycle. OMG, that is a biggie. It is empowering. It is uplifting. It's full of hope. Don't miss that video coming out next week, an interview with Joseph Selby on the Yuga cycles. We last had a combination like this between the three outer planets. Oh gosh, it must at the end of the Bronze Age. So we are going through a really significant cycle with these three planets forming a minor grand trine. Very powerful times of changing of the guard, so to speak, and moving out of certain empires as other empires rise up for greater good. So wowee, check that video out. It's coming out next week. Don't miss it. But this is one of the energies holding space for Neptune conjunct with the North Node, bringing in all the good rather than all the shadow side. We also have a conjunction with Venus, so I'll pop her back in on the game there. She's in Aries, but she's within orb of this conjunction, giving her benefic, uplifting energy. And we have a beautiful trine to Mars forming as well. And so Mars is out of bounds. And whenever Mars is out of bounds, he goes to the extreme. And this is a trine, a very beneficial combination. So this could bring in shocking and extreme and unexpected good outcomes as a result of this combination of energy. This is a divinely supported and powerful wish manifesting combination of energies. So my friends, it's time to do ceremony if you're so inclined around your wishes and dreams. It's time to wish upon a star. It's time to say your prayers. The universe really does have our back this week when this conjunction becomes exact. So exciting. Now, last time that Neptune and Rahu, that's the Vedic name for the north node of the moon, last time Neptune and Rahu met, let's look at a few indicators of what happened. In fact, I'm going to look at the last 3 times they met, and you'll get the gist of what Rahu Neptune tends to do. It's very sign related when they come together. So the last time they met was in early May 2008, and they met in the sign before Pisces, which is Aquarius. As you can see, they're moving their way through each sign, but prior to this particular conjunction, it was in Aquarius. So this actually, very interestingly, brought in around this time in May 2008, a lot of earth events like cyclones, earthquakes, tornadoes, volcanoes, and a significant plane crash. These were the big notable events at this time in May 2008. Now, why would that be? Well, Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, is it not? And Uranus rules upheavals and earth events. So I'm kind of not surprised to have seen that. Planes and air flight are also associated with Aquarius and Uranus. So, of course, we had some significant upheavals in that regard as well. We had, just to name a few of these things that I've mentioned, Cyclone, I hope I say it right, Nargis. We had the Wenchun earthquake. We had the, how do I say it? I'm reading it here. Chaiten, Chaiten, Chaiten volcano in Chile that erupted as well. We had a tornado outbreak in the south central USA, and a plane crash in South Sudan that killed more than a dozen people. Wow, and including a significant politician, their defense minister. So these were some of the events of May, and you can see how they relate to Aquarius energy, flight, and significant earth events because of the Uranus governance, I believe, of Aquarius. Now, prior to that conjunction of North Node with Neptune, in 1991, October, we had a conjunction in Capricorn, the sign before Aquarius. And this was a conjunction that, no surprises here, was predominantly focused on political events, as is the nature of Capricorn, which has to do with governments and hierarchies. Now, this time, October 1991, was really full of things like political things associated with oil shortages, which is very Neptunian, foreign aid, which is all about charity and compassion, government treaties, peace conferences. Neptune is in its highest vibration a force for peace, and also the creation of natural monuments. So the Soviet Union at this time suspended petroleum product exports because of fuel shortages. We had the environmental protection let me get this right. The Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty opened up for signatures at this time. The Croatian Parliament cut its remaining ties with Yugoslavia. The US cut its aid to Haiti. So, we have these issues of aid and compassion. It doesn't mean for better or for good. It can sometimes be for worse. Middle East peace conferences began in Madrid in Spain. And so these are some of the political things that were happening at the time of this conjunction, 2 conjunctions back. And I want to go even further back than that. We had a conjunction in December 1974 in Sagittarius. Now, December 1974, any older Australians will know that was a very significant time in Australian history when the capital of the Northern Territory, Darwin, was flattened by a cyclone. Now, of course, Neptune does have to do with any water events. It really does, because Neptune is the god of the oceans. So cyclones occur at sea, and sometimes they encroach on shorelines and things like that. Usually, I mean, we saw something really out of the box with Tennessee and North Carolina recently, but you know, everyone's scratching their head about, hang on, was this a natural event or not? Anyhow, that aside, in December 1974, Australia's Darwin, capital of the Northern Territory, was flattened by a cyclone. Now, Sagittarius, with the other events that occurred worldwide at the time of this conjunction of the North Node and Neptune, Sagittarius has themes of international ethics, international morals, and international beliefs, and a lot of international affairs. So we saw Malta becoming a republic in December 1974. South Africa was awarded the Davis Cup tennis title after India refused to travel to South Africa for the final in protest of the South African government's apartheid policies. There we've got some international ethics, international morals in action with what happened then. The MLB Rules Committee changed their long-time philosophy to permit the use of cowhide rather than just horse hide in the manufacture of baseballs. Now, Sagittarius rules horses, so that was interesting, and it was a philosophical choice, according to what I found online, to do so. So very interesting that not only does Sagittarius rule horses, it also rules philosophy, and that decision occurred then as well. The Greek monarchy was rejected by a referendum at this time, and to my mind, that's actually very much the nature of Neptune, which is non-hierarchical. You know, hierarchies are ruled by Saturn and Capricorn. With Neptune here, and we're talking international affairs, of course, a hierarchy, like a hierarchical institution like the monarchy, was rejected by the people. We had a formation of the Irish Republican Socialist Party. We had the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to an Irishman for his human rights work. That was Sean McBride. And Japanese Prime Minister I'm not very good at my pronunciations. Esku Sato received a Nobel Peace Prize for signing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty as well. Ethiopia became a socialist one-party state. And interestingly enough, George Harrison released his album Dark Horse. Hello, we're in Sagittarius when this occurs. This was his 5th studio album in the UK. There was a second ceasefire between the IRA and the British that occurred at this time. Iraq also announced plans to increase its oil production capacity in December 1974. So they're just some examples, and you'll see the correspondences, those who are familiar with astrology and the themes of astrology, you'll see the correspondences here. Now, obviously these are world events, not talking about personal events in people's lives. You need to go back and look at what was happening in your life when these conjunctions occurred, and is there any similarity to your situation right now? Also, let's not forget that there's many other things tying into what triggers events in the world and what triggers events in people's lives. So this is an isolated conjunction when really in these previous times that I'm talking about, there might have been other factors playing in. There might have been an opposition from from Uranus to Neptune. There might have been some sort of square from Pluto that caused all these upheavals. But what I'm seeing here is so much benefit that is coming from this conjunction. And of course, I'm using 5-degree orbs in my analysis. There's so much benefit here that I think, like, we have just had a terrible plane crash occur in the USA, and there are always upheavals occurring. But I think overall, this is going to be a very beneficial time for the world as a whole and for you personally, my friends. So in Pisces, we can expect to see that this conjunction will manifest collectively and also personally greater compassion and charity in the world, because that's what Pisces is very much connected to in the higher vibrational levels. We can see more inspirational film and music and art that lifts us to another plane coming out. It's about time. We really need that. The music industry is quite messed up. The psychic and spiritual capacity of people will increase quite significantly now. Also, I encourage you, my friends, listen to your dreams, write them down. They are powerful messages from spirit right now. We might experience more healing as a collective and personally, and make great strides forward in medicine. I can't wait for this. I've been a big fan of RFK for a junior for such a long time, and hopefully this combination of energy brings a lot of empowerment to true healing and true health and true well-being, and perhaps even sorting out some issues in the medical industry. So bring it on. There can be miraculous and unexplained events that occur, because Pisces is the sign of the miraculous. Pisces is the sign, it's otherworldly, it's things that don't make sense, it's things that happen utopianly even. Our visions, our dreams are connected to Pisces, and so here with this combination we can get these miraculous and unexplainable events, and they could come in quite suddenly. Rahu is quite a he's an energy very connected to the nature of Uranus, actually. So sudden things come in fast. We blink our eyes and poof, everything's different. Very powerful. Your biggest fantasies and your biggest dreams can come true, and come true quite quickly in a big rush with this energy. There's also the opportunity for many people to travel under this energy, because Pisces has to do with faraway places. You might be inspired to escape in some way from harsh reality and retreat from life's harshness. Bring it on. That sounds great. Take a holiday. There could also be ocean and water-based upheavals. Now, this often happens with Neptune and Rahu conjunctions, because Neptune is the god of the ocean. But here in Pisces, we can expect it all the more, because Neptune's the god of the oceans in a sign that is connected to water and the ocean. So it would not be surprising. Look, touch wood, that doesn't happen, but it would not be surprising to see cyclones, tsunamis, and floods coming as a result of this conjunction. So just be aware of that. Water-based upheavals. Obviously, also on a negative tone here with this conjunction in Pisces, there could be in the shadow side of Pisces deceptions and illusions on a mass scale, getting the wool pulled over our eyes, perhaps not seeing things clearly, being deceived. That happens personally, perhaps under this energy, but also in the collective as well. In the good, and let's wind up with this, getting tremendous visions for the future of humanity and tremendous visions for your personal life can happen under this energy. You might really start to move into your God-given, divinely inspired destiny under this energy. So, pay attention to everything you're feeling, everything that you're going through. It is giving you significant messages from spirit about where to direct your energy, where to move towards, and what is going to unfold for you in your life going ahead for roughly the next 6 months or so. It may even last a lot longer than that as well. For some people, it will be about getting a future for the next 18 years until there's another conjunction of these two. So I'd encourage you, do some dream work, some visioning about this. Get your nice cup of tea and a little chalky biscuit, sit down with a good pen and paper and write down, where do you want to be in 6 months' time? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Where do you want to be in 18 years' time? And think about the steps that you're required to take to get there. What vision do you have for your personal life? Where do you want to be? What do you want it to look like? Pray about it. Give it over to the divine. Give it over at this time to Neptune and Rahu. Leave that in their hands and start doing the little bits and pieces you can to make your dream a reality. But really, we are getting messages from spirit about our destiny, a divinely inspired destiny, mission, and purpose now. I love this energy. Make the most of it, my friends. It is a powerful and once in a lifetime conjunction here in Pisces. Yay for Pisces rising people. So some of the key personal themes of this powerful conjunction is to watch out for increased deception and deceptive people. Avoid situations that trigger your addictions or cause any toxicity. Stay well away from those things. They will be exacerbated at this time. Put an end to any ways that you are harming yourself through martyrdom and self-sacrificing for others. They're the things we need to be conscious and careful about. What we can embrace is our spiritual practice. So we might receive powerful omens and prophecies and epiphanies and inspirations now, as I've just described. Also, embrace being unconditionally loving, forgiving, compassionate to everybody in your life. And that includes people that you're on the road with, you know, the road rage. Tone it down, people. I'm talking to myself here. I can't stand driving. Oh my God. Being unconditionally loving, as I said, that's key. You could also embrace being healed. You might be healed of a deep affliction or a past life trauma or a physical ailment under this energy in the positive. You might experience ecstasy over a piece of music or a piece of art or a piece of film. You know, I actually, just to share with you, I used to feel that so much and so often. You know, music would excite me and thrill me just so often. But the older that I get, I feel like, as is the nature of when you get older and Saturn starts to take hold, I feel it doesn't happen as often anymore. I don't get as thrilled by a song anymore. Then walk into a shop and hear a song playing and I've got to find out what song it is, you know. So hopefully Neptune conjunct Rahu brings those sorts of experiences up a notch in our lives. Miracles obviously can happen. This is the big one that I wanted to talk about. Miracles can definitely happen. We need to embrace and open our hearts to divine movement to orchestrate such things in our life. And obviously dreams can come true. So we need to embrace our vision and pray for the manifestation of our heart's desire under this energy. I love it. So let's go, my friends, and let's do the all signs breakdown. We're going to start lucky first off the ranks this time, Pisces. Pisces gets to go first. And I must say, with Pisces season coming up, it is looking, I'm going to move this closer to me. It is looking pretty wild out there, Pisces. You have a lot of energy going on in your chart. Oh my gosh. In your first house, I should say, not your chart. All right, 28 degrees of Pisces, 7th of February, North Node conjunct Neptune. So Pisces, this is really the realm of the chart that's all about your life, your purpose, your mission. So many Pisces people are going to discover their true purpose, their true mission, what they're really here to do under this energy. And you're going to get a lot of direction from spirit, a lot of guidance from spirit. You're going to get a lot of omens and signs and prophecies that are happening in your life that you won't be able to deny. You know what it's like, those synchronicities when everything just lines up and you get confirmation from the universe. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. This is what's going to happen for you this week. So it's a powerful time. It's going to increase your personal confidence. I love this. And your self-esteem can really rise, Pisces. You might have been sort of feeling like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing for a career or a job, or if I'm living in the right place, and you might have felt sort of a lack of empowerment over your life. Perhaps maybe for the last 14 years while Neptune moved through this sign. But now, conjunct with Rahu, all of a sudden, it's all going to gel. The modern ruler of your sign, in your sign, with the North Node conjunct. It's a time of knowing who you are, embracing who you are, getting more self-esteem for what you're doing, maybe moving to a place or moving to a new job or finding a new situation that allows you to be truly yourself, allows you to embrace your uniqueness, your personal charisma, your personal sense of self can really be enhanced by this. I'm so happy for Pisces. In the Vedic system, this is the first house is connected with our happiness and our well-being and our path through life. Now, when this conjunction happens and we start getting miracles occurring, OMG, miracles may happen in your life, Pisces, this week that bring you happiness. Miracles may happen in your life that affect your well-being. And I've already mentioned that they will affect your path through life. So knowing where you want to go is very helpful at this time, Pisces. I really would encourage you to sit down and work through what I said before. Where you're going to be in such and such an amount of time, 5 years time, 10 years time, 18 years time, and so forth. But happiness will be the result of this week. You will get something that will give you great happiness this week. Something will make you smile from ear to ear, Pisces. Also, the first house in the Vedic system is connected to your general prosperity and your ability to just generally have success in life. And with this conjunction here, miracles can happen around that theme. You might have been struggling to pay the bills or something lately, and along comes Neptune conjunct Pisces, and a miracle happens. You get a check in the mail. You can pay that bill. You receive a financial windfall, perhaps not just the 8th house, but with this combination in the first house can bring you some general prosperity, a financial windfall that helps you sort out any issues that you've been dealing with. So there is a lot of financial well-being. There's a lot of physical well-being that can happen here too. It's a house of the body. So you might notice now that there is perhaps a lot more vitality in the body. That said, sometimes North Node increases the power of Neptune. And Neptune is to sleep, to rest, to relax, to retreat. So some of you might be feeling more tired than usual. It could go either way. Some of you might be feeling more energized. Some of you might be feeling more tired. Either way, honor what your body is feeling. It's responding to this energy. So if you're feeling tired, rest. If you're feeling energized, instigate something, enjoy, some exercise on water perhaps, go sailing or skiing or something like that involves water energy. For a swimming is great at this time. Swimming is so good. In fact, for the last month, I've been going swimming every day, and oh my gosh, it's just so empowering to the body, especially for a Pisces person. So perfect energy to move into. I'm really grateful that the energies of the universe pushed me into doing that this summer. It's been warm enough in Australia to finally get back to the pool, but that's very much North Node with Neptune in Pisces. So do something sporting, something physical with water. Now, again, all the things I mentioned in the intro could apply to you, Pisces. You might experience some ecstasy over some art or some film or music. You might be healed of anything with the body. This is the house of the body, particularly the head. If you've been having headaches or something like that, you might actually be able to heal headaches. In fact, on that topic, I was reading somewhere the other day that headaches are often caused by a dehydration. So, having plenty to drink is very important, and particularly water with salt in it. A little bit of Celtic sea salt in the water can help. But anyhow, headaches, anything to do with the head, could go through some form of healing under this Neptune-Rahu conjunction. Also, you might be healed of a deep affliction or some sort of past life trauma as well, Pisces. You might get some epiphanies now, some aha light bulb moments, and you can also start to take action, Pisces, to see your dreams coming true. So this is, time to pray for the manifestation of your heart's desire. I love this. Some of you Piscean people will be perhaps changing your appearance a little under this energy, and you'll probably start to look more Piscean if you don't already, a bit more ethereal. You might be wearing more loose flowy clothing, which is very much associated with Pisces. You might actually find yourself drawn to be wearing like these blue colors that represent the North Node and represent Neptune as well. But there can certainly be a more ethereal sort of Arwen, if you know Arwen out of Lord of the Rings, Arwen-like look about you that is very elfin-like and otherworldly in some way, that might be coming out more so now than it usually would. But really, it's also a house of strength and a house of dignity. And I feel that many of you Pisces people will be owning your own power, willpower, and your own strength and your own dignity when it comes to your spiritual life. As somebody who is part of the occult world, doing astrology and other occult practices like hypnosis and so forth, I find that there's a lot of judgment out there in the world towards people who have these spiritual practices like myself. And I don't know if you've experienced that as well, Pisces, but can I just say that under this energy, we're going to stand in our dignity. We're going to stand in our strength about our spiritual associations and our spiritual life. And we might start to see some spiritual empowerment unfolding on the earth. On that topic, and I'll probably talk more about this as the year goes on, but I've got to say, Saturn in Pisces has been rubbish for spiritual practitioners and people doing, sharing occult ancient knowledge. I just notice it everywhere. Every spiritual practitioner I talk to has been like, my gosh, it is so hard at the moment in our field, sharing the knowledge that we've spent years to accumulate and build up. There's just not a lot of take up, not a lot of interest, not a lot, and so on. And it's Saturn. It's Saturn blocking and restricting the spiritual nature of Pisces in the world right now. It will shift. It will end, my friends. So, garner some strength from that. Garner your spiritual dignity from that knowledge that when Saturn gets out of there, you're going to find that spiritual delight, spiritual interest, spiritual growth returns to humanity again. But Saturn's sort of been hard-nosing it there for quite some time. Thank you so much, Pisces. Now we're going to move on to Aries. Aries rising, sun and moon people. And we're going to have the conjunction of the North Node and Neptune in your 12th house. Now, this is a difficult house to get a grasp on, and it can be a place where things feel a bit out of our control. And Neptune is misty and nebulous, so it might be a little hard to understand what Neptune Rahu is doing here. However, I think it's doing some amazing things for you. It's bringing miracles into the house of miracles, in the sign of miracles. Aries, it's all going on. So really, this could give you a lot of liberation, a lot of moving beyond things that have held you back in life. This is a house of moksha. It's a house of endings. And so I feel for many Aries people, there is a destiny here to miraculously conclude something in your life. So maybe you've been going through some trouble or some misfortunes or some suffering in some way, Aries. Along comes this energy, and miraculously the suffering ends, the misfortune stops. There is a conclusion provided for you. So that's one way that this energy could manifest. Also, it could spell that there is some kind of miraculous, perhaps miraculous ending or miraculous opportunity to rid yourself of a debt or some sort of expense as well. And it could come in a miraculous way. Also, this is a house of bargains. So not just expenses and debts, but bargains in Vedic astrology are seen here. So there could be some, really fabulous bargain holiday available to you. Or a bargain, retreat that you like, my gosh, they're offering $100 flights to Bali, away I go kind of thing. So retreats, escapes, holidays could come in some sort of form of a unbelievable bargain right now. So why not book that flight? We also see here that this is an energy of sexual enjoyment. The 12th house has to do with sexual pleasures, bed pleasures, as they're otherwise called. And Neptune with Rahu here could make fantasy something that's on the cards for you beautiful Aries people. So there could be some cosplay, there could be some sort of higher level interaction. It's a great energy for, having some beautiful music playing in the bedroom. It's a great energy for having beautiful art in the bedroom, or enjoying a wonderful romantic sexy film together, and enjoying whatever comes after the film. It's a wonderful energy for experiencing higher level divinely inspired sexual meetings and bedroom pleasures, obviously. This is also the realm of the chart that has to do with the unconscious mind. And Neptune, in its conjunction with Rahu here, can really solidify some sort of spiritual practice for our Aries friends. The unconscious is going to be tuned in under this energy. So you will see things that you wouldn't ordinarily see. By that I mean, some sort of omen or synchronicities happening in the world. Some sort of insight into what the truth is as well. Some epiphany, some inspiration is likely to come your way under this energy with the conjunction here. So pay attention to everything that's going on around you. You might like to write things down if you get some sort of prophecy or message from spirit and from the divine. But it's the unconscious mind that is now more receptive to those things with this conjunction. So, these things are around us all the time. All the time. They're there if you have the eyes to see. And Aries, this is an energy for taking the veil away to help you see. The veils are thin now with these two in a conjunction. So you're going to see things and see connections and, joining the dots in ways that you might not otherwise have been able to do. This is also in association with that. 12th house is our path to enlightenment according to the Vedic system. So when the point of destiny, the North Node, moves through here, we are going to move more towards our own enlightenment, our own raising of consciousness, our own awareness, and it's likely to come through Neptunian methods. So Aries, it's time to meditate. It's time to do those yoga poses. It's time to go for a walk by the water or a swim and just relax and let go. It's time to take a holiday and tap out for a little while. Any Neptunian activity, creativity, like doing some sort of art therapy or dance or something, any form of creativity is going to actually be a mechanism to take you into more awareness, higher vibration, and more enlightenment under this energy. So I encourage you to get involved with those sorts of things wherever you can. The quality of our sleep is usually seen by the 12th house as well. And Neptune here has probably meant that you've probably had pretty good sleep for the last 14 years. Generally speaking, of course, there's times when we don't, but generally speaking, Aries has probably been able to sleep quite soundly. And I believe with Rahu conjunct Neptune, we get more of Neptune, so you're going to get more sleep. In fact, you might be feeling more tired. You're one of the signs that could actually, instead of feeling more vital and energized, you might be feeling a bit more yawny, a bit more need to have an afternoon nana nap kind of thing. Just honor it. If that's what you're feeling, sleep might be increased and the need for sleep might be increased now. But also on that topic, Aries, you might get the opportunity to go away on some sort of retreat, holiday, escapist thing, or to a spiritual center. Maybe you might go spend some time in an ashram, or just go on a spiritual retreat to Sedona or something like that. This is a really wonderful energy for tapping out, resting, retreating, and getting spiritual up-leveling from that. Spiritual enlightenment from that, and just even miracles can happen to you when you're in those Neptunian 12th house spaces. So it is actually worth your while to pursue those things. Don't sort of be like, oh, I haven't got time for that, or it costs too much money or whatever. No, you should be chasing those things, because it's when you're in those Neptunian 12th house energies, that's when miracles happen. That's when you get a breakthrough. That's when you get an insight. That's when, something amazing happens to you, or a dream comes true for you. So, if you're in doubt about participating in any of those 12th house things, let me just encourage you. It's the right time to get involved this week. Now, my friends, Pisces and Neptune rule medicine. And I've got a wonderful video that I did with Ernst Wilhelm all about medicinal astrology, and I encourage you to check that out. I'll put the link in the description, or maybe at the end of the video if you would like to check that out. And don't forget to tune in next week when we talk about the Yuga cycle with Joseph Selby. It is going to blow your mind. Moving along now, Taurus rising, Taurus sun, and Taurus moon, people. The energy of Neptune conjunct Rahu is happening in the 11th house. So this is a very powerful combination. You do perhaps need to watch out for some themes of deception and deceptive people in this social house. So you might get involved with a social group, or there might be a friend who's being a little bit underhanded at this time. This is the shadow energy of this combination. Also, you want to look at where you might be martyring yourself for other people. giving yourself away, putting your needs second for a friend, putting your needs second for maybe your involvement in a political group or something like that. You do review those things and sort of weigh up, is this really right to be doing what I'm doing? Now, also, this is where we're going to get an enhancement of everything Neptunian, enhancement of our spiritual practice. And this energy might be that you get involved with a spiritual group, a spiritual collective, a club. Maybe you start to look into the works of Yogananda, or you join an ashram group because there's a feeling of belonging and connection there. Ashrams and things are seen through the 12th house as a form of escape, but through the 11th house, if it's a group of connection and belonging and like-mindedness, it's actually you can see it also through the 11th house. So you might be inspired to participate in some spiritual group now that could really change your life and benefit your life. Also, demonstrating unconditional love to your friends, to groups of people is really where it's at. You might even receive an act of unconditional love. Many, many years ago, when I'd just become a single mother of 3 little babies, I received a pack from the church in the town where I lived in. There's nothing, no requirement to attend their church or their childcare center or whatever. They just gave me a support pack out of, the benevolence and charity and kindness of their heart. So, it was wonderful. It had nappies, it had food, it had all the goodies in it that you need when you're trying to settle into a new life. So this kind of acts of charity and love coming from a group, not necessarily a church. Churches are seen from the 9th house, but here it would be from some group acting in an unconditionally loving and compassionate and charitable way. You also might be healed of any traumas with this energy that you have suffered at the hands of friends or at the hands of social groups. Years ago, and I'm talking 5 years ago now, I can't believe it was 5 years ago, I was part of the people in Australia, and there was like hundreds of thousands of people who marched against certain decisions our politicians were making at that time in 2019, 2020, 2021. And, that was traumatizing to be in that group situation and misrepresented on the media continually, lied about on the media continually. It was, I look back and I think it was traumatizing. It was wonderful to be bonded together in unity with hundreds of thousands of people who met together to protest these things. This is very much 11th house energy. But there is also, I think, a lot of us have been wounded by what happened in those years, and this the sadness and the frustration of voices not being able to be heard and silenced in very undiplomatic and aggressive. Some would say a word starting with F. ASISTS kind of ways. Anyhow, enough of that. But here, if you've received a collective trauma, if you've gone through some sort of collective trauma on that topic, I was reading an article this morning about how the government arranged for trial spraying of some botulism or something across San Francisco in 1950 to see how it would react to a geo weapon. How the people would, react to a geo weapon and who would get sick and what have you. How atrocious is that? Just utterly disgusting. And, this is a collective trauma, this sort of treatment of people, of the masses. So Neptune conjunct with Rahu could actually cause you to sort of have a healing of some collective trauma that you've suffered. It could heal you of some sort of deep affliction that was suffered at the hands of the masses. I'm not saying that, mass groups of people are always the innocent ones, but, sometimes I see it in The Simpsons all the time. The crowd rises up and, somebody gets hurt, whatever. I just think of the monorail episode. Anyhow, this Neptune Rahu conjunction can help to heal afflictions by the collective or afflictions to the collective. So it might be happening on a global scale even as well. There could also be, for many of you, of course, let's move on from friends and collectives. Let's talk about miracles here, because for our beautiful Taurus friends, you could really have some sort of powerful miracle happen in your life, because this is the house of your long-term goals and dreams, lifelong goals and dreams. So it's not just about, oh, I've started this new job and, I started 6 months ago and my dream is now to be the CEO. No, this is lifelong goals are seen through the 11th house. So maybe your deep down lifelong goal was to own some horses, and you've just, ever since you were a child, you wanted to own some horses. The desire for that hasn't abated. The dream of having, a little farmlet with a couple of horses just has never abated. Well, here comes Neptune conjunct the North Node. A miracle could happen. Your dream could come true. So what are your lifelong goals and dreams, Taurus? You might see them manifesting in a miraculous way for you under this energy. Any ambitions as well that associate with your lifelong goals and dreams could start to see fulfillment. Now, it may not be that you suddenly get a farm with some horses overnight, but something might happen that gives you a stepping stone towards that, and it could feel miraculous. Maybe someone comes to you and says, look, I've got this paddock, it's free, it's free of animals in it, and I know that you've always wanted to have a horse, so if you can find a horse, I'll give you my paddock, it's full of feed, come and pop your, if you can find a horse, you can have the paddock to keep your horse in. Like, what a blessing. If you live in the town, there you go, and you love horses, there's an opportunity. So it could be something miraculous like that happens. You could get some money from side ventures, which is a 11th house thing, and that could come in a dream come true kind of a manner, so you could do very well from some sort of side venture, especially if it's associated with Neptune kind of energy, a spiritual side venture. Maybe you're doing hypnosis and hypnotherapy as on the side, and it's not your day job, but it's a side venture. Well, you could actually see a big blossoming and explosion of what you're doing as a side venture if it has to do with Neptunian things. And Neptunian things are anything creative, anything healing, anything spiritual, anything otherworldly and a bit ethereal. Neptune rules hypnosis. It was discovered at the time that a guy named Mesmer was inventing mesmerism, or was participating in mesmerism. So Neptune is very connected to the whole hypnosis movement and trance energy. So if you're working in those fields, you could have an absolute rocket launch into more blessing, large sums of money, profits, gains. Also, if you're a dancer, professional dancers could see many opportunities coming their way now. Taurus, with this energy unfolding in your 11th house, 11th house rules a love of dancing, 11th house rules professional dancers. And the 11th house Lord. So this is an energy that could see you really doing some wonderful creative work if you're a dancer, and just getting opportunities to express yourself. And, this is a part or a time in your life when you're going to be at the peak of your career professionally if you are a dancer of any sort. So opportunities come to you, your work is brilliant, you are just at the top of your game because of this energy. Now, Taurus, I have to tell you that if you're interested in medicine and health and well-being, I have, and that ties in with Neptunian energy, I have a wonderful video that I did with Ernst Wilhelm all about astrology and medical astrology and well-being. So check it out. It's at my astrology discussions page. And don't forget to tune in next week when I talk with Joseph Selby all about the Yuga cycle and how mind-blowingly hopeful that is for humanity as a whole right now. Thank you, Taurus. Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Gemini moon people. Who you're going to want to go for a walk, aren't you, Gemini? You always do. So I'll just hold you still there. But the energy of Neptune in a conjunction with the North Node is unfolding in your 10th house. It's angular, so it's powerful. All the mutable signs will be feeling this energy very strongly now. quite exciting for anyone who has mutable signs strong in their chart. It's happening at 28 degrees of Pisces. Obviously, if you have planets or points in your natal chart here, you're going to feel it strongly too. But it's happening on the 7th of February when this energy becomes exact. And you want to watch out for bosses being a little bit underhanded, pulling the wool over your eyes, authority figures deceiving you in some way, my beautiful Gemini people, because that's what can happen in the shadow side of this energy. If you are addicted to work, if you have workaholism as an issue in your life, this combination could make it worse if you're not careful. So be very conscious about taking time out and allowing yourself space that you need. And if you're martyring yourself for your workplace, for your boss, then this energy is going to be like, a real calling card for you to sort of wake up to yourself and stop doing that. So if you are harming yourself through, giving, free hours to work constantly and staying back late and so on, know that, it could exacerbate, it could get a lot worse under this energy. And for your own well-being, it's probably very necessary that you learn to put some boundaries in place under this energy. But that's the negative. In the positive, this could bring a lot of epiphanies and inspirations regarding the legacy that you want to leave the world. Because the 10th house is quite a simple house, really. It's about not just career, and we have a wrong idea of what career is. It's about the legacy you want to leave. It's about what you want to be remembered for, the good deeds you want to give to humanity. Activities that benefit society are a 10th house focus. So, sometimes it does have to do with what you do every day, but more often than not, it's usually connected to something you're doing for a side hustle that really floats your boat. So, not that 10th house is the house of side hustles, it's what we want to do that leaves a legacy. So, for example, and I use this illustration all the time, maybe you're a barista by day and that's paying the bills, working in hospitality. But at night you go sing a song at the local pub, sell a couple of CDs if you're old school, or maybe some music downloads, because really the legacy you want to leave is the legacy of your voice, the legacy of the poetry you put into your music, the legacy of the songs that you write that you hope will uplift others and bless others. That is your 10th house. It is the part of us that wants to be known. 10th house is how we're known in the world and what we want to be remembered for, what we want to be associated with and identified with. If I'm working as an accountant all day, do I want my legacy on my gravestone to be he was an accountant? No, I want it to be he sang the most beautiful music and uplifted the hearts of many. Wouldn't that be a much nicer? You know what I'm saying here. Not that there's anything wrong with accounting whatsoever, but is it your legacy? Is it what you want to be known for? Is it what you want to be remembered for when you're gone? That's the 10th house. And so with Neptune conjunct the North Node here, miracles could happen regarding the legacy that you want to be known for, what you want to be remembered for. So if you are a singer-songwriter, you might get offered a contract of a lifetime. If you are a poet, you might get offered a chance to publish a book of your works. If you are the legacy you want to leave, maybe you're a heart surgeon, and that's the legacy you want to leave. You might find that, not that you'll get rewards or accolades, but you might have a miracle that occurs with regarding your legacy. So maybe you've got a patient who's just a really difficult patient. And how are you going to conduct this heart surgery on this patient? Well, a miracle could happen, and that either that patient gets healed or you do an amazing, miraculous job of heart surgery on that person. And what a legacy that leaves. So whatever your particular career is, know that a miracle could happen involving that career for you as a result of the North Node with Pisces. And of course, the 10th house has to do with the good deeds that we do for the world and for our significant other people and good deeds that we give. And this Neptune energy is very charitable, and the North Node makes us sort of desirous of more Neptune. So many of you Gemini people are going to be giving compassionately and charitably now. It might be you're giving your time, you're giving your hospitality, you're giving your love, you're giving your prayers, you're giving your resources, you're giving something to others who are in need right now. So that would be a likely expression of the good deeds here. This is also the house of fame and status. Many of you Gemini people might get a bit of a rocket launch into some miraculous recognition or notoriety in some way. I'm not saying it's going to last. Neptune's a bit like a mist. It can sort of creep in and creep out. But this is definitely an energy where you could rise into beyond what you ever thought in terms of recognition and status and reputation in society. So yeah, this can give you and I'll just close on this one, Gemini, but it can really give you a new, because it's such a good Neptune conjunct with Rahu, it can give a lot of career direction and mission and life purpose in spiritual realms. So a lot of you Gemini people might discover that you want to write a spiritual book, or you want to do tarot reading, or you want to work on healing somebody, work with a healing modality. Maybe vibrational medicine attracts you. Whatever it is, you might discover some new direction for the legacy, the mission, the life purpose that you have. And it could be quite otherworldly and ethereal as well because of Neptune's involvement. Now, my friends, I did a wonderful video just on that topic of Neptune energy on astrological medicine and well-being, and it was a wonderful discussion with Ernst Wilhelm all about how we can heal and how astrology plays into our healing. Do check that out in the astrology discussions playlist. You would love that. Also, next week, I'm putting out a video of a discussion I had with Joseph Selby about the Yuga cycle. This is the cycle of the ages that has given me so much hope for what is happening in our world right now, in humanity right now, and what's coming up for us. You won't want to miss that one. Thank you, my Gemini friends. Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon people. We are having, if we're a Cancer person, we're having the energy of Neptune conjunct with the North Node play out through our 9th house. Wow, this is so exciting. I'm really excited for you Cancers, because this is a very beneficial house. It's a house of great fortune and luck in the Vedic system. And here is Neptune, god of miracles, meeting with the desirous and enhancing energy of the North Node. So you could be particularly lucky, Cancer. Something could just land in your lap that changes your life completely. You might feel a level of ecstasy and delight over some new belief that you find, or a new understanding or a new philosophy. You might get a whole new worldview that comes out of whatever occurs for you. But certainly a miracle could happen in your life that just makes you feel extra lucky, extra charmed, let's say. Now also, this is a house not only of good luck and good fortune with a miraculous energy occurring here. There's many thousands of ways that could manifest, of course. What do you think you'd like to see happen in your life, Cancer, with regard to luck and fortune and miracles? Name it. The universe might just come to your aid. This is the house of communication with the gods, so pray about it. Tell them what you want. You might just get it under this energy. But it's also a house of preparing for our legacy, preparing for our life purpose. Now, if you get some sort of inspiration under this Neptune conjunct Rahu energy, it's time to take action on that. So let's say you're inspired and you think, you know what, I really want to study astrology. And so under this energy, you might like to take action on that, because it could take you into some legacy that you want to fulfill. I spoke before in another signs reading about wanting to own horses as part of, a dream for your life. Well, maybe your purpose is to rehome old race horses or something, who have been burnt out, or horses who've been discarded in some way. And you know, there's a charity element to what you're doing with your life purpose here, with Neptune getting a triggering by the North Node. So you know, your life purpose may be to do some sort of charity work, and it could be in any field. I've just named horses and as one, or greyhounds are another charity work that happens in Australia for greyhounds that have been raced and often abused in those situations to be homed into loving homes. So there could be some sort of life purpose that has a charitable basis to it when this conjunction of the North Node and Neptune occurs. And I've just given you animal charities, but there are other charities as well, so it doesn't have to be that. But that could be part of your life purpose. Maybe you've got a small business that you run, and you decide under this energy, you know, I need to give a portion of my income to better society, to help the world in some way. It could be part of your ethics or your principles, or the moral approach that you're taking to your business affairs. This is also a house of spiritual development. So really, for our lovely Cancer friends, this is an opportunity to just take leaps and bounds forward in your spiritual growth. Connection with the divine. And when I say that, that's all a bit ethereal, isn't it? Oh, connection with the divine. What I mean by that is knowing who we are at our highest vibrational self. Because it's my belief, and I'll talk about this next week in my video with Joseph Selby, which you don't want to miss, talking about the Yuga cycles. But it's my belief that we have existed, maybe we've reincarnated in this life, from a time when we were in the golden age at a high vibrational level, not getting sick, not being poor, not being victimized, not being abused. We have been at a high state of existence as humans. And that capacity is still within us and attainable. We can reach that part of ourselves that existed in the golden age. And so it's through spiritual work, you know, learning to meditate, to pray, to understand ourselves, to know ourselves better, to be able to reach that component of who we are. And you can do so through many shamanic practices. You can do so through your own spiritual work. So nevermore is there a time in your life, my beautiful Cancer friends, when you are going to be empowered to access that higher level self, your golden age self, the divine self. So divine growth is available to you. You might get back in touch with who you were. And of course, with the North Node here, it's part of your destiny at the moment in the coming weeks to do so, to tap back into the higher spiritual realms and to really draw that into your current existence, blessing your life, giving you that luck and good fortune, giving you the knowledge of where you should be so that you're right place at the right time, all that sort of thing, meeting the right people. I love this energy. You know something? Neptune North Node conjunction in the 9th house gives you spiritual eyes and spiritual wisdom that helps you make life work better for you. I love it. Enjoy, Cancer. It's going to be so good. Now, some of you Cancer people might discover a new philosophy with a more spiritual edge to it. Maybe you've been, you know, a little bit on the sort of materialistic side, or maybe you've been very religious, and suddenly in comes this energy, and suddenly you've got a more spiritual bent to how you see the world, and a spiritual bent to what you're doing. In a more earthly realm way of interpreting this is the house of international documents and affairs, like getting visas and what do they call, passports and citizenships and things like that, and international trade documents and so on. And so when we have Neptune, a planet to do with foreign lands, and also I will just add that Rahu, the North Node, has to do with foreign places as well and foreign influences. What you might be finding in your life, Cancer, is there's a significant amount of interaction or events occurring on an international scale. You know, my husband has strong Cancer influences in his chart, and we are currently waiting on a permanent residency visa, praying that comes through soon. And we're also waiting on certain international financial circumstances to sort themselves out in the US. And of course, wouldn't it be wonderful if under this energy of Neptune with the North Node that we had a miracle with those things occur? Maybe, the visa comes through and the finances are settled and sorted and all divvied up properly. This could be one way this could manifest. But what are you dealing with on a foreign basis or with foreign and international trade and affairs and documents? Miracles could happen for you in that regard now. And bring it on, North Node Neptune. That would be fantastic. So that's the main gist of what I'm getting for our Cancer people. I should also touch on the fact that you might feel like traveling under this energy, and you can certainly do so. It's actually fabulous energy for taking a trip and exploring somewhere new, somewhere you've never been, somewhere far away and exotic. You might also find that, you could be traveling for some higher level knowledge, going overseas to learn something new, on taking a spiritual pilgrimage or something like that, or going to university overseas or in a faraway place, a place far away from your home, might unfold under this energy as well. Don't forget, if you're interested in astrological medicine and well-being, I had a wonderful chat with Ernst Wilhelm, my mentor, on the Astrology Discussions playlist. You want to check that out. It was a great talk and very much ties into Neptune energy. Neptune rules healing and medicine, of course. So thank you, my beautiful Cancer friends. All right. Leo rising, Leo sun or Leo moon people, the energy of the North Node in a conjunction with Neptune, once in a lifetime, fabulous opportunity, could bring you miracles of an 8th house nature. Now, naturally enough, Leo, this pertains to 8th house things like inheritances, wills, legacies that you receive. It could be, sort of alimony payments, some sort of insurance benefit or payout. For Leo people, there could be some sort of financial windfall from unearned means. That's 8th house. It's the money we get when we didn't earn it. So quite exciting with a miracle energy forming there. You could have a windfall. You could have a lottery win. You could have some sort of lucky break with this combination. Now also, the 8th house is a house of liberation and longevity. Now, if you've been suffering with some sort of illness that is inhibiting your longevity, causing some sickness that just feels like it will never end, there can be a miraculous healing here. And I would encourage you to seek out energy work like Reiki or vibrational medicine, Bach flowers, so on, Bach flower remedies. This is the kind of stuff that's very 8th house. Even therapy, art therapy, music therapy, dance therapy, all those therapies are great under this energy as well for healing something that is impacting on your longevity. You could even have a miracle occur health-wise in your life that increases your longevity under this energy. Not only that, but Neptune rules hypnosis, mesmerism, and the power of trance. And you might really start to have a real interest in that it's very occult actually. It's very sort of otherworldly. It's a practice that is sort of frowned upon by the mainstream. Anything that's frowned upon by the mainstream is basically an 8th house thing. So this is an energy of you sort of perhaps getting interested in that, moving into that. Maybe you haven't been able to quit smoking, and so you go and see a hypnotist. Boom, under this energy, you're done. Smoking no more. Weight loss, sight problems, skin issues, self-sabotaging behaviors. I mean, there's nothing that hypnosis really can't address. It's a great time for getting that sort of work done for any addictions you've got, any health issues that you've got, any sort of defeating mental attitudes you've got. Check out a hypnotist. On that topic, I will just mention, Leo, I have recently become a hypnotherapist. I'm not offering anything at the moment because I'm too busy with my astrology, but I know the power of trance work, and maybe someday I'll introduce it here at Guiding Star Astrology. But there are plenty of good hypnotists around, and I encourage you perhaps look into that, because the energy of the Neptune with the North Node in the 8th house, which is a house of healing, can be very powerful for transforming your life. Turning your life around 180 degrees is what the 8th house is all about. Changing things, getting, going from one state of being to another. And there's nothing that does that better than some sort of healing. Vibrational healing, like I said, but also hypnotherapy healing. So if you really want to turn your life around, if you want to get more luck, if you want to get more success, if you want to get, sleep better, whatever it is, you can turn your life around through some sort of therapy and healing now, based on North Node conjunct Neptune in the 8th house. Fantastic energy. Now, obviously, this is also the house of psychic ability and psychic interest. Oh my God, it's going to be so ratcheted up to top level now. Leo, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity this week to really maybe get a message from a psychic. You could go visit one and get a really on point message for your life, or for your own psychic capacity to increase. Your dreams might be just off the charts now, with messages and omens and prophecies and so forth. Your understanding of the psychic realm could be just really empowered under this energy as well. So any metaphysical talent that's been lying latent in you could really start to bubble up to the surface now. You might speak some words over somebody and it's prophetic and it changes their life, and you didn't know you had that power, but lo and behold, that's the kind of thing that could happen. Some sort of capacity for 8th house non-mainstream understandings, non-mainstream healings could really be yours now, Leo. Very exciting. And some good news is this is also the house of your sexual strength and capacity. So enjoyment of sex is a 12th house thing, but our sexuality and our sexual appearance, how sexy we are, the sexual strength that we have is represented by the 8th house. So here with the North Node, more desirous, hungry energy in conjunction with Neptune, it tells me that you might have a very... people might be finding you particularly sexy, but in an otherworldly sort of almost untouchable way. So it's not really an energy for, getting a million suitors running after you with flowers and asking you out on dates and things. It's much more of an energy of, I think about Grace Kelly, it's a wonderful example. So there was, like in the 50s cinema, you had Marilyn Monroe, who was like a sex goddess. She was incredibly beautiful. She had a tremendous charisma and sex appeal. Grace Kelly was around at the same time, obviously. It was also incredibly beautiful, incredibly beautiful. She's still an icon, but she's not seen as a sex symbol. She's seen, often talked about as a bit of the ice queen, like this gorgeous woman, so appealing, so full of beauty, but somewhat untouchable, ethereal. I think, Audrey Hepburn was a bit that way as well, while we're talking about these goddesses from another era. Elizabeth Taylor would have been more on the Marilyn Monroe side, I think, but Audrey was more on the Grace Kelly, realm of being somehow ethereal and untouchable. And certainly Audrey had an elfin appearance about her as well. So as far as your sexual energy this week, for my beautiful Leo friends, you're going to be exhibiting, I think, more of the Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn kind of, and this is for women, obviously. If you're a man, it's a little different as well. But there's this untouchableness, like, God, they're gorgeous, but wow, they're sort of beyond. They're otherworldly. They're not quite that earthy, Gaia-based sexiness, So that's the energy that we'll be exhibiting because of the North Node in conjunction with Neptune. The North Node, if it's in the first house natally, it makes for the most stunning people, like truly gorgeous people. So North Node with Neptune gives this gorgeousness and like sexiness, regardless of whether you're a classic beauty or not. It gives this sexiness, but when it's with Neptune, it is intangible, unattainable, far away sort of thing. So I hope that makes sense to people. I actually love that energy. I think it's incredibly beautiful. Beautiful energy. You might be, just to wrap up, Leo, you might be using Neptunian methods such as music, art, dance, any kind of creativity as a source of healing now. So any therapies around those themes would be very good to practice right now. Yes, and also these sorts of things, if you're involved in them, can be very healing for your soul, just regardless of whether it's therapy or not. Just dancing in the lounge room might feel very therapeutic and very healing for you. This is also, I just should close with this. This is also a house of career change. You know, it's 11 houses from the 10th. And because of that, this is associated, like 8th house energy is about change and rapid 180-degree turns around. And 11th house is profits and gains, accolades, notoriety, rewards, and so forth. So for our Leo friends, if you are going through a job change at the moment under this energy, it's likely that it could give some sort of miracle job, you know, some sort of miracle outcome with some not employment, but with your career and the legacy that you hope to leave the world. So, I mean, I'm a Leo person. I'll give an example. It is possible that through this energy, my career as an astrologer, very 8th house, of course, might go through some sort of miraculous rocket launch into success or notoriety or recognition amongst large groups of people because of this 8th house turnaround, you know, sudden windfall kind of energy, but it's 11 houses from the 10th, which is our career. So you see what I'm saying here? Rocket launch into recognition, notoriety, to do with astrology. And if you're in any kind of occult field, you could really have a lot of momentum. So some of you might be changing career, perhaps moving to something more 8th house based as a career, or rather Neptunian based, you know, psychology, hypnotherapy, art, music, film, associated careers, medicine, healing, pharmaceutical kind of stuff is Neptune. So you might be moving into a career in those fields, and it could come in like a rapid fire change that comes into your life that feels miraculous. And so I love this energy. It's going to bring a lot of rewards and gains to our Leo people. Now, on the topic of medicine, I did do a wonderful talk, an interview with my mentor, Ernst Wilhelm, not so long ago. And I just encourage everyone, check that out. Under this energy, it's great to understand astrology and medicine, you know, especially for you Leo people with all of this energy, which is very much about astrological medicine in the 8th house. So do check out that video, and don't forget to tune in to my video with Joseph Selby coming out this week as well, all about the Yuga cycle and the hope that humanity has despite all the craziness that we're seeing happening in the world. The Yuga cycle is just so uplifting. Knowing about it is an imperative for anyone who's a spiritual worker. All right, thank you, my beautiful Leos. Moving along to Virgo rising, sun and moon people. Well, the North Node is conjunct with Neptune in your 7th house. This is happening, of course, on the 7th of February when it's exact. It's been in play for a little while now, and it's happening at 28 degrees of Pisces. This is the powerful conjunction. But you know what? It might be affecting your partners in life more so than you. It'll affect you by opposition, but less. Yeah, actually, I feel it's going to affect the people in your life more than it will affect you, because you've got the South Node in your 1st house at the moment, meaning a decrease of energy focused on the self. And I've talked about this in my nodes transiting through your sign recently. If you haven't seen that video, I do recommend checking it out. I'll put a link in, hopefully up here, it'll appear, and you can check out that video. It's very, very pertinent to you to understand that now. But for your business partners, your marriage partners, your clients, your audience, any other people in your life, you need to be conscious that they might be exposed to some sort of deception or deceptive people. They need to be avoiding any kind of areas or circumstances that trigger any of their addictions. They need to really focus on where they are martyring themselves and seek to make changes so that they're not self-sabotaging themselves for the sake of other people. These are some of the themes of the shadow side of Neptune with the North Node, but there is so much positivity for your partners now. really, one of the best energies that could happen here is that miracles happen with your partner in some way. Like, you know, they get a breakthrough in career, or a miracle with their finances, or maybe they get some sort of lucky break relationally, you know. If it's a business partner, you know, maybe they suddenly meet the love of their life, you know. So something miraculous and amazing could be happening to the people who are significant in your world. Now, the seventh house has to do with more than just your partners. So let's talk about those things and how they apply to you. If you are in foreign trade, in the Vedic system, foreign trade and even living overseas is seen from the seventh house, which is interesting. It's not just the ninth house. So being able to trade and having good talent with business could really be, this energy could bless you if you are in a business that's very Neptunian. Maybe you do psychology, maybe you make films, maybe you produce music. You know, you really need to know what Neptune's all about. You could watch my Neptune playlist to find out more about what Neptune actually rules and is all about. But if you're in a Neptunian career, and that also includes medicine, I should say, then you could really do very well with a business that's associated with Neptunian things this week. In fact, you could have a miracle happen for you if you're in a Neptunian business this week. So I know many of my astrologer friends are Virgo rising or have Virgo influences in their charts. So, you know, maybe your astrology business is likely to really rocket launch. Also, I mentioned a moment ago foreign trade. So, you know, whether this is a house of business, but also for foreign trade and living overseas is seen here. You know, many of you Virgo people might be getting a bit restless and a bit antsy and wanting to move overseas for some reason or another. Or you might just be wanting to travel overseas and live for a while overseas, even if it's not permanently. So I think that many Virgo people, particularly if you've got these indicators in your natal chart, might be looking abroad right now. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a million miles from everything you know and love, but it could be just a different sort of cultural environment and you're looking at moving there. But it would be like a different country, I feel, because this is about foreign countries. It's not about moving from LA to New York. It's about moving from LA to Singapore, that kind of thing. So I'm feeling into this, that Virgo people might be looking at living in a different place because of this very foreign influence in the house of living in foreign places. Now, also, Virgo, the seventh house has a connection to our veins. And of course, Neptune is a very much a medicinal planet. It's a healing planet. But also the North Node is a toxic planet. It brings toxicity. So this combination could have mixed results for your veins. So do watch what you eat. Do watch your blood health. Make sure you're getting plenty of oxygen into your blood and that heart's pumping well and it's getting the blood around your body. Also, when Neptune and the North Node are conjunct, it gives otherworldly results. So if you've been having any vein issues with your veins, it could also be a very good idea to get some sort of Neptunian healing done. Hypnosis, swimming in the ocean, doing Neptunian style exercises to sort of get the heart rate up and get the blood pumping, so that looks like swimming, sailing, surfing, water skiing, anything that is very Neptunian type of exercise that can get the heart rate up to help your veins. Now, that's just a few things, my Virgo friends, that Neptune North Node might be doing here, but it can bring a miracle into your relational life. If your relationship's been on the rocks, this is an energy that can help it to flourish and come back from the store, so to speak. It can give an injection of vitality to a relationship. It can give more romance to a relationship. It can give more beauty and unconditional love to a relationship. And it could even indicate becoming spiritual together with your partner. embracing a vision of the future together, working on where you want to be in 5, 10, 15 years time. It's about forgiving partners. It's an energy for being compassionate to partners and charitable to partners. This energy could be very heightened now, and you may have need to be unconditionally loving, to be forgiving, to be compassionate towards your partner at this time. If there's been any deep afflictions or traumas in your relational life, Neptune, whether you're single or married or otherwise, Neptune conjunct the North Node can give you a period of healing, a time when you resolve and soothe the wounds of whatever it is that you've experienced now. So there's healing with this combination if there is a relationship wound in your life. So wonderful energy to give thanks for, wonderful energy to work with. And I do hope you've watched the introduction of this video to know how to work with this energy best, so that you can heal any traumas, any wounds and afflictions to your love life and your relationship life. Now, also speaking on that topic of healing, I did a wonderful video with Ernst Wilhelm about a week ago. Do check it out. It's a great video looking at medical and well-being astrology, something that I know you Virgo people are passionate about. It's in my astrology playlist, astrology discussions playlist. It's really worth checking out. And also this week I've got a fabulous video with Joseph Selby, all about the Yuga cycle and how much hope knowing that Yuga cycle gives to humanity in this crazy world we're living in right now. You're not going to want to miss that one. Thank you, Virgo. Moving to my lovely Librans. Libra rising, sun or moon. Well, hey guys, we as Librans have the North Node conjuncting with Neptune in the 6th house. Now, ordinarily the 6th house, always when I'm doing a reading, I'm like, oh, talking about the 6th house. The 6th house I find a really hard house because it's about a lot of difficult things. It's about adversity. It's about why we struggle. It's about conflict. It's about enemies, visible enemies. It's not an easy house. But the good news is this is also an energy of miracles in a house of problems. So for my Librans, you are lucky because this energy could actually give a resolution to a problem, a trauma, an affliction in your life, and it changes your life completely. So North Node conjunct Neptune energy, which is all about miracles, brings a miracle into your life by healing a problem and changing a problem. Just one thing to be aware of is this is a house of toxicity. The North Node's connected with toxicity. Neptune on occasion has been known to be a little bit misty about problems, so you get some toxic illness and you don't know where it's come from or why you've had it. Here in the 6th house, that would be my one point of concern. So watch what you eat, know where it's coming from, know what's in the ingredients list so that you can avoid some sort of toxic harm. And watch your environment as well. Chemtrails are disgusting. It's hard to avoid them, but there are other things that we need to be aware of in our environment that can be very toxic as well. So that's what I would say needs to be sort of brought to your awareness, most of all with this energy and the shadow practice of it and the shadow expression. But what about the positive that this energy is going to bring? Well, miracles are one thing. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. This is also an energy of helping our dreams come true. So maybe you've got a dream of overcoming some life-threatening illness or ailment that's held you back from living your best life. Well, this is when dreams can come true. Neptune with the North Node. This is also has an influence on our workplace, what we do to pay the bills. For our Librans, there might be a miracle about to happen with your working life, how you earn money to pay the bills. Now, that could happen in a million different ways, but some scenarios might be that maybe you don't have to work anymore. Maybe some miracle happens and you receive some support from a benefactor, or a miracle, a windfall comes your way. Neptune is miracles. And here in the 6th house in Pisces can indicate not having to work, because Neptune is retreat. Neptune is the opposite of the 6th house. It's escapism, it's holidays, it's tapping out from mainstream society. So it does indicate for some Librans perhaps not having to participate in mainstream society, i.e. a workplace to pay the bills because some miracle happens. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. This energy could be incredible for Libran people who would rather spend their life pursuing spiritual activities and, spiritual understandings, creativity, and just creating things rather than having to go out and earn money for the gas bill, This energy could be your best friend in that regard, my beautiful Librans. Now, do watch out because this is the house of jealous people, and Neptune conjunct North Node in the shadow side is deception and more of it. So jealous people might be sort of pulling the wool over your eyes, pretending that they didn't do something that they did do. Really that energy of competition and jealousy is yucky. I hate it. And it might just be, you mightn't be even consciously aware that it's going on, but it could be there in your life right now, my beautiful Librans, people trying to undercut you. So just to be forewarned, forearmed, this deception energy, which is the shadow side of North Node with Neptune in the 6th house of competitors and jealous people, could play out in a nasty way. So it's a real mixed bag for our lovely Librans. It could be the biggest miracle you've ever experienced. It could be, rather problematic as well. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't play out in the negative, because as I said in the introduction, there's only good aspects involved with this conjunction, and it's powerful because Neptune's in his own sign. So in many ways, it could actually turn out to be big thumbs up for our Libran friends. Now, it's a healing house, and Neptune's a healing energy. So combined with the amplifying effects of the North Node, it is likely that you might actually be able to not only heal an affliction in yourself or heal an illness in yourself, but start practicing healing for other people. Start doing something that, helps other people overcome their problems. Neptune's a very charitable energy. It wants to help other people overcome their debts, overcome their illnesses, overcome their imbalances in life. Neptune is a healing influence in his highest vibration. So you might get the chance, my beautiful Librans, to support and help and heal somebody else's difficult life. Wouldn't it be great if we all operated on that level? I often think about how fantastic, very utopian Pisces of me, but how fantastic it would be if everybody sought to do something charitable for somebody else once a day. And then imagine if everybody on the planet did that. We would have a different Earth in a matter of a week. We would have people caring for others, having compassion for others, and seeing, activity from that compassion. So, that would be my prayer as a Libran moon person for Neptune conjunct Rahu here, that people start to see others with more eyes of compassion. I just have to share with you, Libra, I have heard so many people speaking in recent times about, and some of the people I'm just so surprised who said this, how, billionaires and people who are in the 1% deserve to run things because they're much more, obviously more successful than the poor people in the world. And I'm like, can I believe my ears? Are there actually people out there who think that way? If you're born into unfortunate 6th house circumstances, which include poverty, which include abuse, which include being born into families that have no, direction or strive or a desire to strive for anything in life, and I'm categorizing people there. I do apologize for that. But, if you're born into difficult life circumstances, how much harder is it for you to rise up into, a situation of power and prosperity and abundance than it is for somebody born with a silver spoon in their mouth? And I just can't believe the amount of people who don't realize that and don't understand that. It's disgusting. And I'm going off on my tangent here, and I do apologize. But Neptune conjunct with the North Node here can give a miracle to the people born into disadvantaged circumstances, disadvantaged countries, disadvantaged suburbs, disadvantaged homes. This could give many people in those situations the chance to really step up in life and, move ahead. That's my prayer. I hope that happens. And I hope that people realize it's it's not, whether you're wealthy or not is not a reflection of your character, not a reflection of your kindness, not a reflection of what sort of person you are and what sort of karma that you deserve to have. Really, being wealthy is just luck and not a reflection of the goodness of yourself or humanity. So anyhow, I've gone off on a tangent and I do apologize, Libra. I'm sure you understand. But in this case, I am seeing lots of potential for healing of imbalanced situations in your life and the lives of the people around you, and the opportunity for you to bless other people through kindness and charity and compassion, very Neptune energies as well. And in doing so, you'll actually increase the good karma in your life. Why? Because the North Node is your destiny. And by utilizing in this realm of the chart Neptunian kindness and compassion for others, you're going to increase your destiny. You're going to increase the power of good things unfolding in your life and knowing where you're going and having the universe on your side to lead you to where you're meant to be as a soul in this incarnation. So by all means, get your charity hat on and do what you can to help other people, just as you would want other people to help you in humanity right now. So yes, healing of, what did we get here? Healing of imbalances in your life, illnesses in your life, debts and so forth, but also in the lives of other people around you, and the opportunity for you to do the same for others, to pay it forward, as they say. Now, if you're also in some sort of nursing, catering, restaurant type industry, service type industry, you might get the chance in those fields to sort of move ahead quite rapidly. Neptune can give miracles in those fields right now. If you own a business in that regard, or if you're working in that sort of field, you might get a miracle happen in your life that takes you forward like a rocket launch. So lots of things to look forward to with this energy. Also something to look forward to that you might be interested, Libra, is my talk with Joseph Selby about the Yuga cycle. That's coming up this week. It is such a hopeful interview looking at how humanity has so much to live for right now, because we're at a real turning point in the cycle of the ages. Also, I've just done a video with Ernst Wilhelm on medical astrology and the astrology of well-being. It's fabulous. If you're dealing with any medical issues here, 6th house energy, you're going to want to check out what Ernst and I shared with each other. It was a great conversation and you'll benefit from it. Alrighty, thank you, Librans. Now, Scorpio rising, sun and moon people, you guys are in for a treat. One of the blessed combinations here. On the 7th of February, the North Node is going to conjunct Neptune at 28 degrees of Pisces, and it will be exact. It's been in play for a little while already because these are slow-moving energies. However, now it's taking place for the exact conjunction, and it's in your 5th house of luck and fun and joy. Oh my gosh, what kind of miracles are going to happen for you, Scorpio? This is so exciting. So I love 5th house energy. It's really it's one of the houses that has to do with our good deeds, and so you're going to be inspired to do good deeds under this energy. You're going to be inspired to be charitable. You're going to be inspired to be compassionate and unconditionally loving. And this could be to anybody, but it'll be particularly true with your children and with lovers and people that you're in romantic situations with. So this could be married situations or boyfriend-girlfriend situations, doesn't matter. Love is seen from the 5th house. And so I love this energy. Scorpio, this is a time for increased romance. This is a time for deep, loving feelings to really flourish and flutter up in your life. I love this, you know. This is this is the kind of energy that where we would see a miracle happen with love. You know, maybe we were feeling like our relationship was on the rocks, and then lo and behold, we go on a holiday or something together. Neptune rules holidays. And it's just all on again, you know, we're madly in love with our partner and things are restored. It could be that if you're single, you know, you might get somebody rushing up to you with a bunch of chocolates, or that cute girl across the hall at work has bought you a coffee on her coffee break, and you think, hang on a minute, I think she might be interested. You know, these sorts of energies start to come into being when we have a conjunction of the North Node with Neptune in the 5th house, increasing the romance, increasing the love, increasing the giving and the compassion and, you know, all that beautiful high level Neptunian stuff. So I'm excited by this energy for you, Scorpio. I really am. Now, on other topics, this is also the house of creativity, painting, drawing, writing, all those things. And can I just say, Neptune is the higher octave, the higher expression of all those things. If you work in a creative field, you are going to have like just the time of your life. You're going to be producing the best work you've ever produced right now. Not only that, but you're going to also find that you are might even be subject to some sort of miracle occurring in your life. Maybe you're an artist and you want to, you know, get your art into some exhibition, you know, high-end gallery or something like that. Well, along comes this energy and the miracle happens. You get the call. Your art is going to be on display at this high-level gallery. Maybe it's a song that you know, dream of hearing played on the radio that you've written. Lo and behold, this could happen for you too. Like miracles with art and miracles with creativity and painting and drawing and performance, all could happen for you now. Also, this is the house of celebrity. And Neptune brings the most amazing, unexpected kinds of manifestations when it is in a conjunction with the North Node. So it wouldn't be at all surprising to see some of you Scorpio people sort of rising into a place of recognition, you know, some sort of popularity, 15 minutes of fame, that kind of thing, or maybe even longer. If this is your heart's desire, if you dream of being seen and noticed in some way, being popular, being a celebrity, then, you know, pray. Ask the divine for the manifestation, because here it's quite possible to happen. Also, miracles could happen with regard to children. Now, this could mean for some of you, and you really, I say this with some hesitation because really you'd have to see what's going on in your own personal chart, but for some people, if their personal chart supports it, this could be a time when you get pregnant, where children become part of your destiny, North Node destiny, and the miracle happens. So if you have been wanting a child, if you've been planning for a child, I mean, conception is an 8th house energy. Children are a 5th house energy, but they're very tied together. So, you know, it's a time for trying for children right now. I would also suggest that if you're involved in some sort of spiritual practices, you know, in the Vedic system, this is one of the houses of our spiritual practice, that you will have high level experiences as a result of this energy. You will really touch the divine. You know, if you're into, you know, meditation or yoga as a form of connecting with spirit, then it's really going to go well for you now. You're really going to achieve high levels of understanding and knowledge. This is a house of intelligence, just an innate knowing about how the world is. Also, this is a house of love. What we love, not just romance and dating and love affairs, which it is, but it's also what we love. And I think you're going to really love your spiritual practice now, whatever that might look like. You're going to find that this is an energy where by getting involved in anything Neptunian, creativity, self-expression through creativity, obviously, that could be anything, music, painting, dancing, whatever. And also, you know, anything else to do with Neptune, like understanding the ethereal world, understanding sort of the hidden realms, the misty realms, things that are kept like with the veil over, you know, things that we aren't usually given privy to, other worlds, angelic realms, angels and divine beings, past lives, all of those things are connected to Neptune. You are going to get some form of intelligence around those things right now, and you'll also find in your heart a love for such things. I mean, Scorpio, you're designed that way anyway with a Scorpio energy, but if you've been sort of avoiding looking deep into your heart, understanding your psychology, or doing some creative therapy or something like that, if you've been avoiding that, you might get the opportunity to dip your toe into those waters now. And when you do, you're going to be like, why did I hesitate? This is so me. I have found what I love. I found what enthralls me. So this is the house of what we love, and Neptunian things are enhanced and expanded through its conjunction with the North Node right now. So past life credit is also seen here from the 5th house. And, this could be quite the time when your past life credit is due to show up in your life. What I mean by that is the good deeds you've done in past lives, the kindnesses you've shown, the graciousness that you've given to other people in past lives. Good deeds in past lives add up as karmic credit. And then the 5th house is where we see that show up. Well, Neptune, ruler of the 5th house, Scorpio, in modern astrology, in conjunction with the North Node destiny point, there's never been more of a strong time for that sort of blessing to come back into your life now, blessing to show up in your life. Now, of course, you may not know what those past life deeds were or the karmic credit that's about to unfold in your life, but we know that Neptune is miracles. We know that the North Node is destiny. It's your destiny to have some miracles in your life that are a blessing. That's probably as much as I can say about the whole thing without, I can't pinpoint what it is for everybody, but because you were a good person in a past life, you are about to receive a miracle that will bless your life. This is a house of what we love and happiness. It's a house of joy. So you're going to have some miracle that occurs in your life that gives you joy, that makes you happy, that makes you excited, that gives you the fire of God, that gives you a sensation of just loving life and loving the world and loving people, loving, existence. Because life has gone well for you and miracles have happened for you. What a wonderful, wonderful energy this is for my beautiful Scorpio friends. And you deserve it, Scorpio. You hold space for the rest of us in so many powerful ways with your energy and your vibration, just being a Scorpio person. Scorpios are so deep and intense. We love that energy. I've got 3 planets in the 8th house. I identify with that. Because you look into the depths and aren't afraid to face the darkness, you do so much for humanity on an energetic level, Scorpio. So you deserve this blessing. You deserve this gift from the divine. Now, the 5th house is also the house of changes in our career. Why? Because it's the 8th house from the 10th. And so by career, I mean the legacy that you're seeking to leave when you're gone. Whatever that is, what do you want to be known for when you no longer reside on the planet in the current form that you're in? Well, this is the house of perhaps making some change in your life that allows you to move more into your destiny with career. It helps you to renovate your career. It helps give you a leg up into your legacy that you want to leave. It helps bless the unfolding of that legacy right now. Miracles, Neptune with the North Node, destiny, change in your career, 5th house. So don't be surprised, my Scorpio friends, if you see some sort of a shift of energy of that nature. Maybe your boss asks you to take a special mission on and you've got to go, I don't know, to the Caribbean or something for work. And, you discover, because obviously Pisces rules islands and faraway places, and you go to the Caribbean for work and, you discover the true mission and meaning and purpose of your life when you are taking on that task, for example. I'm giving you like a crazy left of center expression here, but really it's about a change in your career. It doesn't mean a loss of career. I'm talking about a change in what you're doing with your career that leads you to your destiny, that leads you to that you get some sort of miracle unfolding, and it just feels like this is happiness, this is joy, this is perfect. So that's what I'm really feeling into for my beautiful Scorpio friends. It's going to help make your life feel more purposeful, more divinely inspired, more guided by the heavens. It doesn't mean you don't have free will, but the universe is really going to step in to sort of give you a bit of a shove where it wants you to be right now because of this. It's going to give you more purpose and meaning to life. And I will just also say, because it's an energy of miracles, Scorpio, and this is the house of speculations, it could be that you buy a ticket in something and it works out for you. You get, you take a risk with something in life and it goes your way. a miracle happens. Now, that could be any kind of speculation or risk. It could be, asking the girl across the hall at work out on a date. You take a risk, heart's in your throat, life's in your hands. She says yes. What a miracle, that sort of thing. Or it could be, buying a ticket in the lottery. All that kind of stuff is fifth house, taking a risk kind of energy. So I love it. Enjoy, my beautiful Scorpio friends. And don't forget, if you're interested in astrology and medicine and well-being, then it would be really worthwhile for you to check out my video with Ernst Wilhelm. We discussed what astrology and well-being really looks like, and you'll love the conversation that I had with Ernst in the Astrology Discussions video playlist. And also I have a wonderful video coming out for you this week by Joseph Selby, an interview I did with Joseph on the cycle of the yugas. This is where we go really in depth with what's been going on over big chunks of time, cycle-wise, in the not only the astrology, but in the cycles of time with the precession of the equinoxes. Oh my God, this is deep stuff. This is 8th house, big energy, Scorpio, just your stuff. It's just your style. You're going to love it. Thank you, Scorpio. Okay, Sagittarius. Oh, good news for Sagittarius. You guys, you are having the energy of the North Node conjunct with Neptune, and it's happening in the 4th house. When something is angular, we feel it all the more. And this is very true for the mutable signs, who are all recipients of this beautiful North Node conjunct Neptune energy in Pisces. It's happening on the 7th of February that this is exact, but it's kind of been at play sort of a couple of weeks before this conjunction has been exact, and will continue to be in play for a couple of weeks afterwards. It's at 28 degrees of Pisces, so if you have your IC or any other planet or point here, it's going to be more strongly felt by you, of course. So this is a time for embracing your spiritual life as a part of who you are, as the foundation of who you are. How can you build your life, Sagittarius, upon your spiritual understandings? You need to build your life now, because this is the house of the foundation for our life. You need to build it on love, on forgiveness, on compassion. And, I've got to say, most of the Sagittarius people that I have ever met do have a strong foundation that way anyway. They've built their life on just loving unconditionally, because Pisces is their 4th house. But there's a need perhaps to revisit this now, and you'll get the chance to revisit this. So really it's about making your foundation in compassion and graciousness strong right now. So this is also the house of emotional happiness. And because Neptune with the North Node brings miracles into our life, my friends, you might have a miracle happen in your life that just makes you buzz, makes you so happy, and you deserve to feel that way, Sagittarius. So, it could be anything. It could be a miracle happens with a financial situation, or a miracle happens with a family situation, or a miracle happens with regard to where you're living. Something happens and it just makes you so happy, because a miracle of blessing, the divine has put a foot into your life to help guide you and bless you. I love it. Now, this is the house of ancestral inheritances. So some of you the miracle might look like that. The miracle might look like, inheriting the family business, or receiving, access to the family farm or something, some land that the family owns, and you get to participate somehow in that land. There's some sort of ancestral inheritance, and it can come through in sort of a sudden, unexpected way as well with this conjunction too. This is the house of comforts and luxuries. Quite literally, in the Vedic system, you might actually receive some sort of comfort, some sort of luxury. I love this energy. Who wouldn't want this? Comforts, luxuries, and big boy toys, that's seen from the 4th house. So Sagittarius, you might get the chance to buy a speedboat, or, maybe a great uncle, leaves you an old Jeep that he loved working on, and you score the Jeep. Well, yay, some sort of fun item that's a toy, or for an adult, or if you're a woman not really into Jeeps, not that I'm being sexist there, women love Jeeps too, but if you're more somebody who's likes a holiday, well, that's a comfort, that's a luxury, to go to some far-flung island. Pisces rules islands. Well, you might get the chance. Somebody might say, look, I come down sick and I can't go to this retreat in Bali. So would you like to go on, my behalf? And away you go. Some sort of, it's very sad if your friend is sick and can't go, but hey, it's a luxury to be able to go for a retreat. Pisces energy, Neptune energy, conjunct with Neptune in the 4th house. This is what this energy speaks to. Now, also the 4th house has to do with the passion of our hearts. It's really where our hearts are at. And so I think for many of you Sagittarius people, your heart is going to be really drawn to sort of spiritual matters, creative matters. I have noticed, my husband David, he's a Sagittarius rising, and he has just, over the last couple of weeks, particularly the last week, he has just thrown himself into making films. Videos that he produces and edits and puts together, and they're wonderful. I love his insights and his knowledge, but that's what he loves doing. And photography, oh my gosh, for Sagittarius people, you've got Pisces in the house of what you love. I mean, you film and photography is one of the things you just love, and often. Could be something else. Could be miraculous healing that you love, or could be, traveling overseas, or the ocean that you love, those sorts of things. But I've just noticed David has been really heading up, if you like, the videos and the photography and that sort of thing at this time. So what you love might really come into prominence now, and you might even discover something new that you love that might have some important part to play in the destiny that your soul is here to experience. Maybe you love Pisces energy here. Maybe you love surfing, and or maybe you discover that you love surfing under this energy. Lo and behold, the Neptune conjunct North Node energy could take you perhaps into a career that has something to do with surfing. Maybe you open a surf shop in some fabulous sort of far-flung beach somewhere, and it ends up part of your destiny to be managing that surf shop and surfing every day. Whatever we love can actually start to play more into our destiny after this conjunction occurs. So what is it that you love? I often tell my children, write down 5 things you love and 5 things you're good at, see where they overlap, and you'll probably have a good idea of where you should focus your energy for the future. Well, what do you love, my beautiful Sagittarius friends? There's a calling card there from the universe to say, hey, there is a destiny here for you with what you love. Now, also this has to do with land, property, real estate, your actual physical bricks and mortar home are seen through the 4th house. And so I would just suggest, in the shadow side of this energy, do check on any plumbing, flooding issues, oil or gas leaks. Neptune, when it gets triggered in the 4th house by anything, can sometimes cause problems there. And quite frankly, we have a gas heater at my house, and it just hasn't worked properly since Dave moved in. And he has this chart with obviously Neptune transiting his 4th house. So in one way, I'm looking forward to Neptune leaving his 4th house this year, and maybe my gas heater will start working a little bit better. But yes, do double check those issues around a home. But you know what? This is a combination of miracles. It's a good week, Sagittarius, to buy a ticket in a home lottery, or to look at, perhaps buying a new house or moving somewhere or improving the house that you live in, because a miracle could happen. If you start looking on real estate pages, knowing that you need a new home and you've got a list of what it is you're looking for and what you want, you might miraculously find the house of your dreams under this energy. And lo and behold, it could be at a price you can easily afford. So yeah, land and property miracles can certainly take place, as well as all the other problems that I described. And certainly as Neptune, my Sagittarius friends, is getting to the end of his sign, your 4th house, planets get jiggy with it when they get to the end of a sign, especially one that they're very comfortable in, or strong in. They start to manifest. They're like, right, I've only got a little bit of time left here. I better do what I came here to do. And Neptune here could bring you the house of your dreams. Even this is aside from the North Node being here, but the North Node just exacerbates that potential even more. So Neptune could bring you the house of your dreams and the place of living of your dreams, the community of your dreams. I know, and I keep referring to Dave. I hope he doesn't mind me talking about him, but it's good illustration. since he's moved to Australia, he's like, I just love it here. I just love, and I find that really humbling as well. But he says, I just love the people and the safety and the feeling of no crime. And I love the energy of the place and the opportunities. So, it's about what we love, yes, and finding that place with Neptune in the final degrees of Pisces, finding that place that we love, that home that we love. So it could be a community, it could be a country, it could be an island, Pisces energy, of course, but it could be, a house in the ideal situation, that you've always dreamed of having a home. Maybe it's a house in the hills, or a house by the beach, or some sort of house by a river, or whatever it is, house in an environment that you absolutely love. And of course, the North Node in conjunction with Neptune here could really amp that up and allow you to get the home of your dreams some way or another through some miracle. What else can we see here? Okay. This is also the house that has to do with the end of all matters, as they say in the Vedic system. So this means that anything that needs to end, this could be, maybe a marriage needs to end, or a career needs to end, or a job needs to end, or a difficult situation needs to end. When something is ending, the way it's experienced is seen by the fourth house. And if you're ending anything in your life now, Sagittarius, it's going to end with a miracle. It's going to end with spiritual insight. It's going to end with like a level of unconditional love and forgiveness and compassion at the highest vibrational level because of the activation of Neptune and the North Node here. So the end of something in your life is going to come in. It's going to be healing. It's going to be sort of a release from past trauma. It's going to be miraculous, as I said. It's going to make your spirit soar. It's going to make you so happy. Endings don't have to be bad. Sometimes they can be liberating and freeing and empowering. And in this case, you're going to feel a measure of, I escaped, I escaped from that problem, or I am free now. I feel loving about that situation. I feel that I've been healed of that situation. It's beautiful, beautiful energy, Sagittarius, for anything that's winding up and ending in your life. Wowee, how lovely for our beautiful Sagittarius friends. Now, don't forget, I have a wonderful video of discussion with Ernst Wilhelm all about medical astrology and well-being, and you would love this video. It's in my astrology discussions playlist. Do check that out, and also stay tuned to the channel, because coming up this week I have the most amazing video discussion with Joseph Selby about the Yuga cycle. This is the cycle of the ages. We talk about heaven and the golden age. We talk about the cycle we're currently in and how we're moving out of it, and what that means and what that looks like for humanity, and the hope that it brings for humanity. This interview is amazing. You are going to love it. Do check it out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all the stuff so that you don't miss this fabulous video coming out this week. Thank you, Sagittarius. All right, Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon people. OMG, Cappies. You are having quite a fabulous week, as we all are, with the North Node conjunct with Neptune, and it's occurring on the 7th of February that it's exact. It's happening at 28 degrees of Pisces, which is in your third house in whole sign astrology. So this is a powerful conjunction. It's a once-in-a-lifetime conjunction, so it could bring in very fated, destined, miraculous events in your third house. Now, the third house in Vedic astrology has to do with our excitement and our enthusiasm. And the conjunction of these two is going to bring you so much love and unconditional acceptance, and so much, of this higher vibrational energy of forgiveness and compassion, that you are going to be excited. You might be the recipient of somebody's compassion. You might be the recipient of somebody's unconditional love, and it's going to thrill you to your fingertips. It's going to excite you. But also, you may be able to have the opportunity to give love and forgiveness and compassion now to others, because this is a social house. It's about connections with other people, and in doing so, it's going to bless you. It's going to bring so much blessing from the divine, guidance from the divine. Remember, this is a house that has to do with in ancient times it had to do with being connected to the divine. It was very connected to the goddess energy, the third house. So it really is going to be able to you're going to really be able to communicate. It's a house of communication after all. Communicate so well with the divine. So of all the signs, Capricorn, this is a reminder to me that you should be praying this week. You should be doing rituals. You should be doing some sort of ceremony or whatever it looks like for you that connects you to the divine. Communicate with the divine. Pray to the divine. Write a letter to the divine. By divine, I mean your higher self, your higher wisdom that was known in the golden age. Or you could see it as God, or you could see it as the universe, whatever. But connect, communicate, and share now, because the universe's veils thin because of the North Node with Neptune. And so being able to be heard by the divine and answered by the divine, remember this is the house of communication, is powerful. And when the divine hears your prayers, it will answer. It will give the miracle needed. The divine wants to support us. It wants to empower us. It just wants to be asked. So allow it to step in for you by presenting your requests to the divine now. This is also, as we know, the house of writing and music. I think many of you Capricorn people are going to be inspired this week. You're going to want to write a poem or write a song, play music, use your skills on the recorder or the guitar or whatever it happens to be, and you're going to want to express something just for the joy of expressing. Neptune's not an energy of, hello, look at me, watch me perform for you. No, it's about, I am tapping into this divinely inspired music and just playing it because of love, because I love it, because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel happy. So, oh my goodness, Capricorn, this is a beautiful energy this week to enjoy for you. This is the house of our ability to fulfill our daily desires. It's the house that tells us how much effort we require to put into achieving our daily desires. Let me say, when Neptune is conjunct with the North Node here, you don't have to put in effort at all. It's an energy of things landing in your lap, miracles happening, things going your way. And I'm not talking about, big lottery wins or anything like that with this energy. I'm talking about just everything, everyday stuff. Like maybe you decide, oh, you know what, I would really love some porterhouse steak for dinner tonight. And, you all of a sudden somebody rocks up on your doorstep and they say, oh, look, we had this happens when you live on a farm. As I grew up on a farm, we killed a beast the other day as part of our yearly activity on the farm and stocked our freezer, and we just had more than could fit in the freezer. So I wondered, do you want these porterhouse steaks? There's a daily desire for a meal tonight fulfilled with effortless ease. It's these sorts of things. So what do you desire in your day-to-day life? Do you desire more time? Do you desire more love? Do you desire more connections? Do you desire to be doing something that you love rather than something that you have to do? What is it that you desire on a day-to-day basis that the universe could fulfill a miracle for? Well, this is also a house of desires, so it's certainly worth exploring such things now and presenting those requests to the divine so that the divine can answer. Now, this house has to do yes, it has to do with mechanical and technical fields, computer technology, advertising, and so on. But when it comes to the machinery and the mechanical things, this energy could cause a bit of upheaval, a bit of like, I don't know what's going wrong here, I can't find the problem kind of stuff. So for armed with that in that regard. But the good news is, if you're doing anything to do with advertising or marketing, well, this is the time. This is the time to promote, because Neptune is an energy that has to do with marketing and promotions. It's presenting something. I mean, Neptune, let's face it, Neptune rules things that are fake. And so what is a lot of advertising? Faking things. Oh, you buy this dishwashing soap, it's going to turn your hands into some, glamorous supermodel's hands. That's advertising. It's talking about fake stuff, stuff that doesn't really have it. Spinning a lie or spinning a web, if you want. And a lot of the time, that's why Neptune is associated with advertising for this fake energy. But in the third house, the house of advertising to promote sales. So when you've got the combination of these two in such a healthy, blessed way, any advertising that you undertake now is going to lead to more sales, miraculous level of sales. Any promotions that you undertake, you could be spinning an absolute web yourself, but it could lead to a lot of good results for you, especially if you run a small business. So I would suggest, if you do invest in advertising and marketing, and not all advertising and marketing has to be dodgy, obviously, but it's a great time for investing in advertising and marketing and promotions when Neptune is getting so empowered by its conjunction with the North Node. Some of you might really get a vision for the future with a small business now. The third house is small business affairs and the ability to earn money from our own efforts. It is a financial house. It's not an Arthur house in the Vedic system, but it is a house of making money through our own efforts, because it's the second house from the second. So in that sense, you might get a vision and a dream for the future. I keep thinking the song from Tangled, I have a dream, I have a dream. Well, you might have a dream for the future for a small business that could now manifest most miraculously, especially if you present your requests to the divine. So I'm excited for you, Capricorn. This is a beautiful energy. Miracles could be happening for you in really practical ways and in really practical areas that really bless your life, especially going forward for the long term with your destiny and your ability to achieve whatever you want to make your spirit soar on a day-to-day basis. Not sort of like I said, the big miracles that are once in a lifetime events that you're like, oh my God, that was such an epoch in my life. No, it's about what do you need every day to make life feel good, to make life work well for you. So Capricorn, I just want to let you know that I did a fabulous interview with my mentor Ernst Wilhelm all about medical astrology and the astrology of well-being. If you're interested in that sort of thing, do check it out. It's in the Astrology Discussions playlist. And coming up next week, the most amazing interview with Joseph Selby, all about the Yuga cycle. I love this. It is just gives so much hope for humanity, especially considering all the upheavals we've been through for the last 5 years on the planet. It all makes sense when you understand the Yuga cycle. So do check out that video when it comes out this week. And now, Aquarius rising, sun and moon people. Thank you for waiting until last, my beautiful Aquas. I am so grateful for your patience, but you are having the conjunction of Neptune with the North Node in quite a fabulous spot. This is happening on the 7th of February, and it's been active for about a week or two before that anyhow, and will be active for about a week or so afterwards. These energies move very slowly, so we feel it for a long time, but it's happening at the 28th degree of Pisces. If you happen to have your second house cusp here or a planet here, you'll feel it so much more. But what does this mean for us? Well, it's miracles. It means miracles, and this is happening for you guys in the house of the physical, the house of the material realm. It's the house of your income, wealth that you earn on a daily basis, finances, financial investments. It's a house of what we buy, what we spend our money on, the couch in the living room, the car in the garage, that sort of thing, the things that give us a sense of security and stability materially in life. This is where you might see a miracle. Maybe your car has been, dragging its tailpipe in the gutter and, doors are falling off and you're totally ready for a new car and you're like, I haven't got the money, I don't know what I'm going to do. Along comes this conjunction and suddenly you get a car, miraculously. It could happen through somebody gifting you a car, or it could happen through some money coming to you that you can buy a new car with. But whatever way it eventuates, it's a miracle. The universe can help you with your material needs right now. Neptune can bring all sorts of blessing in the second house. Unfortunately, in the shadow side, Neptune can cause us to spend and we don't know where our money's gone. But as I said in the introduction to this video, this is such a powerful combination for good, with all the aspects and things forming, that I think the likelihood is that miracles will happen regarding the second house energy. So this is exciting. Where do you need help miraculously? Well, pray. This is also an energy of using our spiritual practice to help us in our material existence. If you pray and present your request to the divine under this energy, you will see the results. The divine will hear and listen and respond. And so, if you're not putting it out there, How can the divine know what to do for you? I mean, it does know. It knows energetically. But seeking and requesting is such a big part of spiritual practice in prayer, but also finding a place of contentment with what is, going with the flow. That's also a spiritual practice. You know, if I get the new car, fantastic. If I don't, I know that that's what's meant to happen. And really that's where it's at, because the North Node is about our destiny. So miracles can happen, but it's about putting it out there, letting the divine know what it is you need materially in life to support your journey, and then trusting that the divine will answer and provide whatever that need may be in good time. So I love it. This energy is powerful. There might also be some significant transformations to your sense of self-worth and self-value, and oftentimes that is a necessary thing that needs to happen first before we get the miracles in the physical. So this is a chance for you, my beautiful Aquarius friends, to be unconditionally loving to yourself, to be forgiving to yourself, to be compassionate to yourself. And you might like to use that as a trigger and ask yourself, well, where do I need to forgive myself? Where do I need to be compassionate to myself? Where do I need to be loving to myself? In what field of life? Where have you stuffed up that you need to, allow yourself a bit of leeway? You are human. That sort of thing. Also, Neptune conjunct with the North Node can really help heal any kind of deep affliction or past trauma. And in this realm of the chart, it has to do with deep afflictions and traumas to your sense of self-worth. So you might find that this time is actually more than just dealing with the material realm, but really healing your sense of value. Maybe your parents constantly put you down or didn't appreciate you, didn't show you the love that that you would have hoped a parent would give. Or there's trauma there and afflictions to the self-worth there. And just for one forearm, Neptune, North Node combination can bring that up, in order that you dissolve it and heal it, in order that you do therapy around it. And of course, Neptune is very connected to healing, but it's also connected to things like art therapy, music therapy, dance therapy. So any creative therapy that you can get involved in now to help heal self-worth issues is well supported. Also, Neptune is psychology. Doing a bit of psychological deep diving is well supported under this energy as well. This is also... this is an energy where your dreams can come true. So, like I said, pray. What is your heart's desire? You've got to know what it is before you can offer it up to the universe. And really, you might find that as you heal your self-worth, your spirits soar, and you start to notice changes in your external environment as well. It's a time for doing spiritual practice, because in your spiritual practice, that's where you might receive powerful omens and prophecies and epiphanies and inspirations. So you're sitting there, meditating, chanting, whatever it is that you do, and you get an inspiration, a light bulb moment. Oh, I should invest money in this particular avenue. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, divine. Thank you for the message. Or, you're sitting there doing your spiritual practice and you feel yourself being set free from some sort of old wound from the past afflicting your self-worth. And so you come out of your spiritual practice and you walk lighter and freer and happier. This is the energy. It's very restorative. It's very healing. It's very beneficial to the soul here in the second house, and it's very beneficial externally as well. Now, in a practical sense, the second house has to do with the food that we eat. Our appetite is seen from another area of the chart, but the food that we eat is seen here. I want you to be very careful of what you eat this week, my beautiful Aquarius friends, because Neptune Neptune has had associations with sort of, toxicity in the sense that you don't know what it is it's doing to you. It's misty, it's unclear, undefined what food is actually doing to the body. And Rahu, the North Node, is toxicity. So here in the house of what you eat, check the label, check the date of expiration, try and eat fresh and clean and light and avoid anything processed as much as you can, so that avoid fake meat. Neptune is anything fake. Avoid anything fake. For God's sake, don't eat oh my God. I won't go there. I was going to go on about plant-based meats. But anyway, Yes, don't eat the bugs that Bill Gates wants you to eat. Watch what you're eating, because the toxicity levels can be very, very high. So do be very, very careful. Yes. I should also mention that the second house in Vedic astrology is a house of truthfulness or the tendency to lie. And so Aquarius, just to lay it all out there, Neptune can be a deceptive energy, and as I talked about in the introduction, in the shadow side with Rahu, it can exacerbate deception. So here in the house of potential tendency to lie, you do want to just watch what you're saying. It could come back to haunt you down the track. Destiny, North Node. So you might lie to get your way in something. You might lie to achieve a certain end. That is possible here, okay? If not you, it could be someone else that is doing that to you. So test everything that you hear in the next couple of weeks. But really, this is actually more connected to the self. So I just ask you to be careful. Now, the good news is that as an Aquarius person, you are very connected to authenticity, being straight up. No sort of beating around the bush, no wearing a mask. It's just, I am what I am kind of energy. So that might be your saving grace here. But just, yeah, there might be situations that come up where you are tempted. So, do whatever you feel that you must, of course, under this energy. But remember that whatever steps you take may actually come back to haunt you in time, as the North Node represents our future, our destiny, and where we're heading. So that's all I have to share for our Aquarius friends. Don't forget to watch my medical astrology discussion with Ernst Wilhelm. You will love it. It's full of deep, rich knowledge about astrology. And I have an amazing video coming out this week with with Joseph Selby, talking about the cycle of the yugas. And this is big picture stuff. This is how humanity has hope in this age because of what's gone on before in a cycle of 24,000 years. It's amazing, deep, rich information. Again, you're going to love it. But for now, thank you so much, my friends, for joining me for this whopper of a video. I pray it's a blessing to you, and I look forward to coming with more astro information for you next week.